Okay, let's just dive right in. How many times have you told yourself, tomorrow, that's it, I'm fixing my routine? You imagine this perfect day, right? Waking up at 5 a.m., hours of leisure-focused study, maybe even a salad. But then tomorrow happens and you hit snooze. You scroll for a bit, and suddenly the whole day just vanishes. If that feels a little too familiar, it's because you're running on a buggy, inefficient operating system. Today, we're installing a serious upgrade. Seriously, think about it for a second. Are you actually making decisions, or are you just reacting? Reacting to notifications, to deadlines, to whatever random impulse pops into your head. Because if you're not intentionally controlling your day, I guarantee your day is controlling you. Most students don't struggle because they're not smart. They struggle because their entire structure is a complete mess. And this right here is the core of the problem. We've all been sold this hustle myth, this idea that more hours automatically equals more success. It's a total lie. You hear people bragging about 14-hour study days? Come on. Most of that is just low-quality, distracted time. The skeleton system isn't about that kind of intensity. It's about surgical efficiency. It's about getting more done in less time so you can, actually have a life. And that's why we have to start treating our daily routine like a clean, minimalist operating system. The daily skeleton isn't some rigid, color-coded, miserable schedule. Nope, it's a bare-bones framework. It's designed to do one thing: protect your energy, direct your focus, and run your most important tasks without constantly crashing. It all starts with the most critical phase of the day, the morning. How you start your day literally sets the code for everything that follows. So think of it like the boot-up sequence for your computer. A clean boot leads to a smooth, fast day. A chaotic one, well, it leads to constant freezing and error messages. Sound familiar? Your boot sequence is incredibly simple, and it's non-negotiable. First, before your brain has even fully loaded, you hydrate the hardware. Then you initialize the light sensors. Just open a window. Let natural light hit your eyes. A few minutes of stretching is like running a quick diagnostic on the body. And finally, 2 minutes of calm breathing. That loads a stable, non-reactive state before the chaos of the world tries to barge in. This right here, this is the one thing you have to avoid. The first 30 minutes of your day are sacred. If the first thing you feed your brain is memes, work emails, and social media drama, you've just started your day with pure chaos. You've basically let 100 random programs start running in the background, draining all your resources before you've even opened the one document you actually need to work on. Okay, so the system is booted up, it's stable. Now it's time to actually execute your most important programs for the day. This is where we leverage our peak processing power to do all the heavy lifting. Here's the thing you have to understand. Your brain's energy, its battery life, is not constant. It's at 100% in the morning. So why on earth would you waste that peak power on low-demand tasks like checking email or scrolling through feeds? The golden rule is simple. Do your hardest, most brain-draining task first. 1 focused hour in the morning is worth 3 exhausted hours at night. It's not even close. So the entire game is about protecting that morning energy, and its number one enemy is this thing called the context-switching tax. Every time you glance at a notification, open a new tab, or reply to a quick message, you pay a tax in your mental energy and your focus. It might seem small each time, but trust me, these taxes add up, and by noon your brain's battery is half empty from 1,000 tiny withdrawals. So this is the algorithm to avoid that tax. A simple 15-minute block of deep, single-task focus. The rules are absolutely non-negotiable. Your phone is either off or it's in another room. No multitasking, period. And here's the crucial part. During your 10-minute break, your brain actually rests. That means no screens. Get up, stretch, look out a window. Give the processor a real break. Don't just give it different stimulation. But look, you can't run your system at full throttle all day without some serious maintenance. That's what this next part is all about. We have to stop thinking of breaks, food, and movement as distractions. They're not. They are essential maintenance protocols that you need for high performance. You know that afternoon energy drop? The post-lunch slump where your brain feels like it's full of cotton? Yeah, that's not a bug. It's a feature. It's built into your hardware. Most people try to fight it with caffeine and sugar, which just leads to a massive system crash later. The smart approach is to accept it and work with it. So what does working with the slump actually look like? Well, it means having a light lunch that doesn't divert all your power to digestion. It means doing a hard reset with a quick 15-minute walk or a power nap. You use this lower energy state for practice-based work. Solving problems, reviewing notes, active doing instead of passive learning. Then later, a little movement and creative hobbies. Those are your defragmentation tools. They clear out the mental clutter and prevent total system burnout. Now, how you shut down your system at night is just as important as how you boot it up in the morning. A proper shutdown prepares the system for the next day, making sure you start with a fully charged battery. A system crash, on the other hand, leaves you drained and unprepared. So every night, you have a choice. You can crash the system, flood it with blue light from your phone, doom scroll for an hour, check last-minute notifications that just stress you out, or you can run a proper shutdown sequence. This means planning the next day, which offloads all those to-do lists from your mental RAM, and then you wind down with something calming, like a real physical book. 0 screens for at least 30 minutes before bed. This brings us to probably the most crucial part of this whole thing. Never ever sacrifice sleep for study. It is the single most counterproductive trade you can possibly make. All that information you crammed into your brain during the day, it's just sitting in temporary storage. Sleep is the process that actually saves and organizes that data into your long-term memory. If you cut your sleep, you are literally hitting delete on your entire day's work. So, what's the magic number? It's not a secret. 7 to 8 hours. This isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable system requirement. This is the nightly maintenance cycle that recharges your battery, consolidates what you learned, and preps the hardware for another day of high-level performance. Anything less, and you're just choosing to start your day with a defective system. Okay, so we've walked through the whole architecture of the daily skeleton. We've got the boot up, the core processes, the maintenance, and the shutdown. Now let's talk about the mindset you actually need to install and run this new operating system. This system basically flips conventional wisdom completely on its head. First, forget motivation. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. A good system runs even when you're not feeling it. Second, forget intensity. Those 12-hour cram sessions just lead to burnout. Consistent daily progress always wins. Third, forget quantity. 4 hours of deep, focused work is infinitely more valuable than 10 hours of distracted studying. And most importantly, you have to understand that rest isn't the opposite of work. Rest is a vital part of the work. So let's be honest with ourselves. Your current way of working probably isn't working that well. It's full of bugs, it crashes all the time, and it wastes a ton of energy. The daily skeleton is a lightweight, stable, and highly efficient alternative. So the question is pretty simple. Are you ready to stop forcing a broken system and finally install the upgrade?